Under the pandemic, traditions ushered in with the holidays are undergoing transformations. After 5 years in Tucson, Cultivate is one of those emerging traditions, doing things differently this year.
Planning and just thinking about Cultivate this year was like, could we do an outdoor market? Could we just do online? Could we do a virtual kind of meet and greet with vendors? But thinking through all of those things and with the risks of COVID in our community, this was kind of the middle of the road option that provided enough sales opportunity for vendors.
Prior to the pandemic, the pop-up marketplace brought together dozens of local vendors and hundreds of potential buyers, all under one roof for a one-day event.
It's a really high energy, a big sales day for vendors. And for customers, it's really exciting to get to meet and see all of these people that they either follow on social media or use their products, get to have that face-to-face connection.
One of Cultivate's co-founders, Kristen Tovar, says changes this year include a scaled-down setup at the MSA Annex outside of downtown with limited occupancy indoors, offering shoppers private appointments, setting up an online marketplace, and extending the event from a single day to 6 weeks.
Opening day, I wasn't able to come, and had it been a one-day market, I wouldn't have been able to be here. So I'm really excited. And though it's a smaller space and it's not hundreds of people around right now, that's a good thing. So I still feel safe shopping here.
This is my first time coming down to this space in person, and I just dropped off some more soap and more pieces to restock. But I know that the weekend, just from what I heard and saw, it was a really great success.
For vendors like Ashley Abrogio, who sells handmade soaps and pottery under the label Spring and Vine, pop-up events like Cultivate are crucial toward helping her year-old business thrive.
These markets are a substantial part of the income that I make, whether it's the soap or the pottery. It's usually something that people want to see and feel and smell and use their senses.
Abrosio participated in last year's Cultivate. Returning vendors also include Shazier Gorzi. Gorzi's Agave Pantry features her own baked goods, pottery, and linens.
I was the featured vendor on Sunday, just this past week, when I was set up right outside here. And I was curious how it's going to work out, but everyone was so mindful of each other and myself and everybody else around them.
When she first launched her business, Gorzi says she mostly relied on pop-up events to make sales, but that changed in March when the pandemic led to cancellations, lockdowns, and changes in consumer habits.
In March, we kind of shut down. People had emptied the shelves of butter, non-GMO almond flour. The ingredients I use, flour, people were making bread. So I just stopped. So actually, now that I look back, from March through April and even mid-May, I didn't bake because I thought, okay, I can't be running a business and taking so many ingredients when people are home and trying to bake for themselves and adapt.
Gorzi adapted herself, pivoting more toward wholesale deals with stores and online sales. A cottage license also allows her to sell baked goods from home.
Pre-pandemic, my website would get orders, but not the same way as it does now, because I was going to markets more than, 1 or 2 a month. And so since then, the website has been really integral to the business growing, essentially.
Agave Pantry's uptick in online orders mirrors trends nationally. According to the National Retail Federation, so far e-commerce sales are up more than 35% over last year. Adobe tracked more than $10 billion in spending on Cyber Monday, a 15% increase from 2019. Despite financial setbacks the pandemic dealt many, the National Retail Federation estimates holiday shoppers will spend anywhere from $26 to $37 billion more than they did last year, in part because of a drop in spending on things like entertainment and travel.
There's an element, I think, even of giving gifts or shopping this holiday season that's bringing a sense of joy that really, has been lacking for the most part in 2020. So there's something too about feeling good about supporting your local community and, being a part of making it continue. So I think you're buying into something bigger than just a product, but it definitely is a huge boost to our economy too.
Sometimes I'll, do a mix of chains or Amazon or whatever, but I like to at least do a little something from Cultivate each year.
As for Cultivate's plans in 2021, Tovar says that will depend on how the holidays go.
We don't have any markets planned yet, but you can bet that Cultivate will come up with some kind of way for you to support local artists and businesses.